The power that destroys you is never the one that shouts, it's the one that stays silent. It waits. It calculates. And when it moves, the game is already over. Centuries ago, Niccolo Machiavelli revealed what most people still deny: the world is not ruled by fairness or kindness, but by strategy and control. His words terrified rulers, shaped empires, and continue to expose the truth about power. This video explains how that truth still operates today, how the ruthless win, how the naive lose, and why ignoring these rules leaves you powerless. Watch until the end, because the patterns of power you'll see here will change the way you look at people forever. Law number 1, the law of perceived power. Being the kindest person in the room, following every rule, showing respect to everyone, and never causing harm may appear noble. In reality, it invites exploitation. Unprotected kindness becomes a doormat. Fairness without defense turns into a tool for opportunists. To the ruthless, kindness is not a virtue but a signal of weakness, a sign of someone who can be manipulated, someone who avoids conflict, someone who values approval more than respect. Machiavelli understood that true strength is not found in volume or cruelty. Strength lies in refusing to be used. It is the discipline of drawing lines that no one crosses without consequence, the silent presence that forces hesitation before any attempt at disrespect. The weak react through emotion, anger, complaints, appeals to fairness. The strong respond with strategy. They remain calm, they observe, and they strike when it truly matters. This is the doormat effect. Excessive accommodation does not earn more respect, it destroys it. A person without boundaries becomes an easy target. And once that reputation takes hold, undoing it requires 10 times the effort of preventing it. The ruthless grasp this instinctively. They do not strive to please everyone. Their focus is on ensuring that no one dares to cross them. They establish boundaries early and enforce them without hesitation. Quickly, others learn exactly where the limits are. As Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, but few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few really know what you are." This is the essence of power. People respond to appearances, not reality. Appear weak, and you will be treated as weak. Appear strong, and you will be treated as strong. Perception matters more than truth. It is not necessary to become heartless. It is necessary to stop being an easy target. In a world of sharks, the goldfish does not survive. The choice is not between good or evil. It is between being respected or being used. And when disrespect appears, weakness excuses it, while strength addresses it instantly, clearly, and without apology. Law number 2, the law of mental supremacy. There is a mental state the ruthless inhabit, cold, detached, and untouchable by the emotions that paralyze ordinary people. It is called God mode. In this state, guilt cannot reach you, approval does not sway you, and fear holds no control. Reality is seen for what it is, not what you wish it to be. Decisions are made with logic, not emotion. Action is taken without the need for validation or permission. Most remain trapped in dependence, desperate for reassurance, desperate to be liked. That need grants others power over them. The ruthless need nothing. They set their own standards, enforce their own rules, and move without apology. This is not the absence of emotion but the mastery of it. Anger is felt without explosion, pain without collapse, fear without paralysis. Think of the surgeon performing a critical operation: steady hands, absolute focus, no space for panic or self-doubt. That clarity is God mode. Every time a decision is abandoned out of fear of judgment, every opportunity avoided to seem less aggressive, every silence chosen to keep the peace, power is surrendered. As Machiavelli wrote, Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. Commitment erases obstacles. But most people are divided within themselves, chasing success yet craving approval, desiring power yet longing to be liked, wanting respect yet terrified to offend. Such conflict destroys momentum. God mode resolves it. What matters is chosen, everything else becomes noise. The path into this state is simple but unforgiving. First, cease explaining yourself. A decision made does not require justification to those unaffected by it. Second, practice emotional observation. When emotion rises, pause. Is it useful? If yes, direct it with precision. If no, release it. This is not suppression but control. Third, erase should from your vocabulary. I should be nicer. I should care more. I should keep everyone comfortable. Who created these rules, and who benefits from them? God mode is clarity. It is the ability to see the chessboard while others chase pieces blindly. It is the discipline of thinking 3 moves ahead while others stumble on the first. And once entered, the truth becomes clear: most people are predictable. Their emotions reveal them, their need for approval controls them, their fear of conflict limits them. To move in God mode is not to be cruel, only to be fully awake. Law number 3, the law of invisible power. Most people misunderstand power. They think it's loud, about being seen, heard, and at the center of attention. That's not power, that's performance. Real power moves in silence. It shapes outcomes without being noticed, influences decisions without leaving fingerprints, and changes the game while everyone else argues about the rules. The ruthless don't need the spotlight or recognition. They don't chase applause. They only care about results. And that makes them dangerous, because people never see them coming until it's too late. The loudest voices often belong to the weakest minds. Those who talk the most crave attention because they doubt themselves. But the ones sitting quietly, watching everything, that's the real threat. They gather information, study weaknesses, and wait for the exact moment to act. Power doesn't always sit in the highest office. It belongs to those who know where the bodies are buried, those who understand the networks, the whispers, the unspoken deals. Their presence is invisible, but their influence is everywhere. As Machiavelli wrote, "He who seeks to deceive will always find someone who will allow himself to be deceived." That is the essence of invisible power. People see what they expect, and their assumptions create blind spots waiting to be exploited. It's not about commands but about control, not authority, but influence. The skilled don't tell others what to do, they shape the information, the context, and the choices, so others act exactly as intended while believing it was their idea. The ruthless master this art. They don't dominate through force, they dominate through position. They arrange the board so that the natural flow of events serves their goals. Like water, they don't fight resistance, they flow around it. Patient, silent, unstoppable, reshaping everything in their path. And when the dust settles, they remain untouchable. No one blames them, because no one saw them there. Their hands stay clean, their control stays intact. Invisible power isn't deception, it's precision. It's knowing when to be seen and when to vanish. Sometimes visibility serves the mission, sometimes it destroys it. The ruthless understand the difference, and always choose strategy over ego. Law number 4, the law of constructive fear. Most people avoid the subject of fear because it makes them uncomfortable. Yet fear works. Not the loud kind born of shouting or threats, that's weakness disguised as strength. Real fear is silent and psychological. It lingers in the mind long after you've left the room. The ruthless understand that love is fragile, it fades, demands constant proof, and exhausts those who chase it. Fear, however, endures. Once boundaries are understood, they rarely need to be repeated. Fear shapes thought, language, and behavior. It commands respect without repeated enforcement. This is not about terror, it is about clarity. Healthy fear makes people think twice before crossing a line. It defines boundaries and enforces consequence. Think of someone deeply respected, there is always a trace of fear in that respect. Not fear of harm, but fear of disappointment, of losing esteem, of crossing invisible lines. That is the kind of fear the ruthless cultivate, calm, professional, and precise. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions." People respond faster to fear than to hope. Fear provokes immediate action, love and trust require time. Controlled fear is subtle, it exists in reputation, in whispered stories, in the unspoken knowledge that disrespect will not go unanswered. The ruthless build this reputation through consistency. They draw lines and enforce them without exception. One act of consequence is enough, the story travels on its own. When someone crosses a boundary, they correct it once, clearly and without emotion. "Your time management affects my schedule. This doesn't happen again." No anger, no theatrics, only consequence. And the lesson is permanent. That single moment ripples outward. Others hear of it and adjust their behavior preemptively. Fear replaces repetition. Authority no longer needs to speak. True fear is not cruelty, it is discipline. It is clarity, consistency, and the unwavering enforcement of standards. Most people talk about respect but never demand it. They issue threats but never deliver consequences. The ruthless do the opposite. They speak little and act decisively, and that silence becomes their reputation. Law number 5, the law of silence and unpredictability. Predictable people are powerless. When your reactions are known, you become programmable, easily provoked, steered, and exposed. The ruthless refuse predictability. They weaponize mystery, silence, and uncertainty, and that uncertainty becomes control. Silence is one of power's purest forms. When you don't react, others panic. They fill the void with their own fears and assumptions. Their imagination betrays them, handing you control without a single word. Most people can't endure silence. They rush to justify, explain, and reveal every word a data leak. The calm and unreadable hold the advantage, because what can't be read can't be manipulated. This is the information asymmetry advantage. The less you speak, the more you know. Silence collects. Talking exposes. Machiavelli wrote, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." That's unpredictability in action, the refusal to be caged by expectations. The ruthless shift patterns deliberately, sometimes generous, sometimes distant, sometimes merciful, sometimes not. No one ever knows which version will appear, and that uncertainty keeps everyone off balance. To apply this law, stop being available on demand. Delay your responses. Alter your rhythms. Engage when it suits you, disappear when it doesn't. This isn't manipulation, it's defense. Predictability is control surrendered, unpredictability is control reclaimed. Silence and unpredictability are twin weapons. Silence creates pressure, unpredictability sustains it. The powerful use both, they pause, observe, and act only when the moment serves them. That pause is not hesitation. It's dominance. When provoked, stay still. Let silence stretch. Let them expose themselves. And when you finally respond, do it once, with precision, and end it. Because silence is an absence. It's leverage. And unpredictability is fear without form, invisible, but absolute. Law number 6, the law of presence and perception. Power is not only what you do, it's what others believe you can do. It's the aura that enters the room before you speak. The ruthless understand this. They build their persona deliberately, shaping an image that demands respect before a word is said. They don't beg for attention, their presence earns it. This isn't deception, it's design. Every action, word, and decision reinforces the identity they want the world to see. Once that image hardens, it becomes self-sustaining reality. Those who command respect without effort have mastered this. They may not be the strongest or smartest, but they embody authority through consistency, mystique, and composure. Consistency: say little, but do everything you say. Enforce every boundary. Deliver every consequence. People learn quickly who can be ignored and who cannot. Mystique: never reveal everything. Leave space for speculation. The unknown creates power, the known invites challenge. Composure: never appear desperate or shaken. Emotional control is armor, once it cracks, respect dissolves. Machiavelli wrote, "One who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived." Yet this isn't deceit, it's curation. Everyone crafts an image, the powerful simply do it with purpose. You already curate your digital life, the best moments, the sharpest words, the strongest image. The ruthless apply that same precision to reality. They construct a presence so solid that others self-regulate around them. Their aura enforces boundaries long before they need to speak. But presence collapses without alignment. If your actions contradict your image, respect evaporates. A persona must be an amplified truth, not a performance. When image and conduct merge, power maintains itself. Eventually, your name precedes you. Stories travel further than your voice. People adjust before you arrive. That's not influence, that's command. That's power working in silence, long after you've left the room. Law number 7, the law of emotional control. Emotion is the enemy of power. It makes you predictable, reactive, and easy to control. The ruthless understand this. Emotion itself isn't weakness, obedience to it is. There's a difference between feeling and following. Anger, fear, and hurt are signals, not commands. The powerful feel everything but act on nothing blindly. They treat emotion as data, to study, not to serve. Freedom from emotional control brings clarity. It replaces reaction with calculation. While emotional people are still processing, the detached are already acting. Most are puppets, pride, guilt, or fear pulls their strings. But those who master emotion can't be baited, shamed, or steered. Every feeling carries information. Anger marks a boundary, fear warns of risk, sadness reveals loss. Suppression ignores these signals, mastery interprets them and responds with logic. Machiavelli wrote, "Hatred is gained as much by good works as by evil." People will love or hate you regardless. Their emotions are theirs, not your concern. Power means using emotion as a tool, not a leash. Anger sharpens resolve, compassion builds alliances, fear fuels preparation, but none decide for you. Emotional decisions fail because they're impulsive and short-sighted. Rational ones endure because they're grounded in precision. Those who master this law become untouchable, unprovoked, unshamed, unafraid. Having accepted the worst, they're immune to manipulation. When emotion rises, pause. Don't react. Observe. Ask what it wants and whether it serves your purpose. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't. That pause is the moment control returns, the point where emotion ends and power begins. Law number 8, the law of enduring power. Power is not a moment, it's momentum. It's not about winning a battle, it's about shaping the field so victories become inevitable. The ruthless think in decades, not days. They build systems, not streaks. They craft reputations that outlive them and shape how others define power itself. History remembers the ruthless not for kindness or fairness, but for effectiveness. They didn't complain about how the world worked, they rewired it. They moved mountains while others debated morality. Machiavelli understood this. The Prince, written over 500 years ago, still provokes fear and fascination because it revealed what power truly is: timeless strategy. Enduring power demands patience, discipline, and unwavering principles, especially when the world tempts compromise. The question is simple: what will be said about you when you're not in the room? Not the polite words to your face, but the truth spoken behind closed doors. Powerful. Strategic. Unyielding. Dangerous to cross. That reputation is built piece by piece. Every choice either strengthens or erodes it. There is no neutral. You are always building a legacy, by design or by default. The ruthless build theirs through mystery and precision. They reveal little, display strength selectively, and let their restraint become legend. What's hidden creates intrigue, what's seen enforces respect. Machiavelli wrote, "There is no other way to guard yourself against flattery than by making men understand that telling you the truth will not offend you." Power built on illusion fades. Power built on truth endures. Ruthless figures earn loyalty through clarity, not comfort, through results, not reassurance. Legacy is not about being loved, it's about being remembered effectively. The powerful don't chase affection, they shape systems, forge empires, and alter the course of history. The greatest names were rarely adored, but always respected. They traded popularity for permanence, and won. Because when the ruthless are gone, their influence remains. Their strategies are studied. Their methods repeated. Their names whispered with equal parts admiration and caution. That is the true legacy of power, not applause, not understanding, permanence. And it begins now. Every decision, every boundary, every disciplined act builds it. The question is not if you will leave a legacy, but what kind it will be. Law number 9, the law of patience and precision. Ruthlessness is not aggression. It's not noise, speed, or chaos. True ruthlessness is patience, the ability to wait in discomfort, absorb losses, and let others act first. It's the discipline to watch opportunities pass, knowing a better one is coming, and the restraint to strike only when success is certain. Impatience destroys power. The impulsive reveal intentions too early, waste energy on small battles, and burn out before the real fight begins. The ruthless wait. They conserve strength while others expose weakness. And when the perfect moment arrives, they strike once, fast, precise, decisive, and the game ends. Patience is the invisible blade. It looks harmless until it cuts. Timing turns ordinary action into legend. The wrong move at the wrong time fails. The same move at the right moment defines history. The ruthless sense this rhythm instinctively. They read patterns, watch shifts, and understand that silence and waiting are forms of movement. Nature reflects it. A lion doesn't chase everything it sees. It studies, waits, and only strikes when the odds guarantee the kill. That's not cruelty, that's efficiency. Machiavelli wrote, "God is not willing to do everything and thus take away our free will and that share of glory which belongs to us." Opportunity exists, but seizing it, at the perfect moment, is your responsibility. Act too early, and you fail. Too late, and someone else wins. Act on time, and you appear unstoppable. patience in practice looks like control. When insulted, the ego demands revenge, patience demands silence. Gather information. Study motives. Wait until emotion fades and your advantage grows. Then act once, cleanly, strategically, irreversibly. That's not passivity, that's mastery. Like chess, amateurs move constantly, reacting to every threat. Masters sit still, reading the board, waiting for one fatal mistake. Life is the same. Most people chase every impulse. The ruthless wait for one perfect opening and end it with a single move. This discipline demands emotional control. Ego wants to prove. Fear wants to flee. Pride wants to respond. Patience says, wait. Wait for maximum impact. Wait for silence. Wait until they no longer see you coming. Then strike. No hesitation. No mercy. No second guessing. That is not luck, that is timing. Because power is not constant motion. Power is calculated stillness followed by unstoppable execution. The impatient posture, the patient prevail. The world rewards strategy, not speed. It rewards precision, not noise. The ruthless understand that time itself is a weapon, one that breaks the reckless and crowns the patient. The power you fear most doesn't shout. It doesn't seek approval. It takes. It lives in silence, patience, and calculation. It sees what it wants, and gets it. This power isn't evil, it's awareness. It understands that the world is not fair, only effective. Power is neither good nor evil, it simply is. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't care who deserves it. It flows to those who understand how to use it and punishes those who pretend it doesn't matter. The weak chase fairness, the strong study structure. The weak react, the strong design outcomes. That's the real divide, not morality, but awareness. Every empire, every dynasty, every name that history remembers was built on one truth: those who wait to be granted power never receive it. It must be taken, quietly, precisely, relentlessly. The world will not remember how kind you were. It will remember how effective you became. Because fairness fades, but results remain. So stop asking whether power corrupts. Ask whether ignorance protects. Stop hoping for balance, learn how to bend it. Because in the end, power doesn't belong to the righteous. It belongs to the ruthless and awake. This is not a call to cruelty, it's a call to consciousness. To stop living by borrowed rules. To understand the machinery that already governs your life. And if you're ready to go beyond this, to study how power truly operates, how control is built, and how legacy is engineered, enter the playlist Machiavelli on Power as Design. Don't just watch it. Study it. Because the final truth about power is simple: the one who understands it, owns it.